At a young age, most people find themselves watching popular and trending summer movies that feature pirates, treasure hunting, grand adventures, and endless exploration at the hopes of uncovering great secrets and untold riches. What most people don't know, however, is that there are hidden clues and secrets to help someone uncover true buried treasures hidden across the world. These treasures have a variety of origins, from secret government projects to enigmatic millionaires leaving behind a legacy. So, here are 5 rumoured locations of lost treasure that you can find today. The Forrest Fenn treasure of the Rocky Mountains. Famed millionaire, art dealer and author Forrest Fenn was confronted with his own mortality back in 1988 after getting diagnosed with a terminal form of cancer. After pondering for a few years about his life and the legacy he had left behind in the world, in an almost Willy Wonka-like fashion, Forrest Fenn took a substantial amount from his art collection and priced artifacts valued at $10 million today and hid it inside of a wooden box in a random part of the Rocky Mountains. He later detailed in a poem several clues to help treasure seekers locate the hidden riches, and even further confirmed in an interview back in May of 2017 that though people had figured out the clues and potential locations of the treasure, none had discovered the clues in the correct order and have failed to locate the treasure specifically. He later clarified that several treasure seekers had been roughly within 200 feet of the treasure and many more within 500 feet of the box. Most treasure hunters today are still in search of the famed treasure of Forrest Fenn, and none have provided any amount of substantial evidence of obtaining the treasure, which further inspires treasure hunters to continue their search in the hopes of the famed riches and luxurious life that accompany it. It's important, however, to not get your hopes up too high. Although it is confirmed that the treasure exists, Forrest Fenn himself claimed that it would probably take 10,000 years before a single soul will ever find the treasure. This does not deter true treasure hunters though, as they write that the thrill of treasure hunting, hiking through the Rocky Mountains and working to be credited as the one who figures out the clues and find the treasure is more than reward on its own, and that the money involved is merely an added pleasure. The Oak Island Money Pit. Dubbed by researchers, archaeologists, historians and treasure hunters alike as the last great unsolved mystery of the modern era, the Oak Island Money Pit is a conspiracy of claims and reports that spanned centuries and historical references that led to the overall belief and finding that Oak Island in Nova Scotia may house a collection of the greatest treasures the world has ever seen. Though the existence of treasure in the region is still up for debate, there is a substantial amount of evidence relative to the proof of buried riches and hidden artifacts. Among these supposed artifacts are supposed Shakespearean manuscripts, the jewels of Mary Antoinette, and religious artifacts that range from gold hidden by the Catholic Church and even reports of the fabled Ark of the Covenant hidden by the Templar Knights in the region. The historical value of these reports is so great that the majority of treasure hunters work alongside archaeologists, historians, and experts in the field to help uncover the true natures of hidden documents and conspiracies forgotten to time. The History Channel had even recently created a television show around the excavation processes and treasure hunting on the island that is titled The Curse of Oak Island, that details proof of treasures, hidden underwater chambers, depressions in the ground, and even minor artifacts recovered in the area. Despite these findings, there are still many researchers that are skeptical about the claims, and it is quite commonly believed that potentially no treasures of substantial value are located on the island, and that reports that outlined these buried treasures could have been forged to direct misinformation and prevent people from discovering its true locations. The Treasure of Lima. Removed from Lima, a city in Peru, the Treasure of Lima is reported to have been a collection of treasures, artifacts and riches worth roughly £160 million, or about $208 million in today's currency. The more interesting story behind the burial of the treasure and the collection of this hunt was built up over centuries of conflicts and tensions within South America. During the 16th century, Spain had taken control of Lima after defeating the native populations in this region, and over the next few centuries worked with the Catholic Church and had gathered a vast amount of resources and treasures within the city of Lima, Peru. It wasn't until the 19th century that this collection of vast wealth was threatened due to rising difficulties in colonies due to wars of independence all across South America. In 1820, as Lima was on the edge of revolt, the Mexican government quickly worked to preserve the established wealth and established a safety precaution for this conflict. The Viceroy of Lima quickly worked to transport the wealth to Mexico for safekeeping and took a detailed inventory of the goods retrieved that outlined jeweled stones, precious metal candlesticks, 2 life-sized solid gold statues, and an untold amount of money. The treasure would quickly be seized by a corrupted Newfoundlander captain by the name of William Thompson, who was put in charge of the riches and headed for the Cocos Island, located near present-day Costa Rica. Supposedly, the men buried the treasure there and were soon captured after this. The treasure has still been yet to be uncovered, and many people scour the island in the hopes of locating where it could have been hidden. If you wish to join, then you will have to do this at your own risk, as treasure hunting on Coco Island has been deemed illegal and is banned by the Costa Rican government. The Golden Owl hidden in France. Created by French author and communications expert Régis Hauser under the pen name of Max Valentin, On the Trail of the Golden Owl is a 22-page book filled with complex codes, riddles, and puzzles that outline the details of how to uncover a hidden artifact created by the book's illustrator and win the prize supplied by the author, which is a statuette of an owl created from solid gold and silver and affixed with several diamonds across the top. The author has passed away in recent time, yet the treasure detailed in this book still has yet to be found by enthusiasts and devout treasure hunters from across the world. Many treasure hunters pursue the quest today, not for the riches, but for the bragging rights of being able to uncover the secrets of the complex codes and riddles. The treasure of the Golden Owl is valued at €150,000, but can easily be auctioned off at a much higher price. The creator of the riddles and codes also claimed to have put a tremendous amount of time into false trails and misinformation in the riddle to throw off treasure hunters and prevent the treasure from being found too quickly. Valentin later clarified that he had visited the site several times to ensure the presence of the treasure still in its rightful place and found it to be undisturbed. Evidence of people being roughly within 400 feet of the treasure had been reported by Max Valentin in an interview later held. Of course, as time grew and no participants could find the treasure, Valentin set up the MaxVol server to help answer any questions treasure hunters might have and provide additional clues. After answering over 100,000 questions pertaining to the search over the span of several years, Valentin closed the server and remnants of the information exist to this day. No one has found the treasure, but given the advancements and information shared today, a winner should be able to finish the treasure hunt sometime soon. The sunken treasures of Lake Tirpitz. Described by treasure hunters as the Nazi El Dorado, the sunken treasures of Lake Tirpitz is a treasure of history that is known to exist and that the location of the treasure to already be uncovered. The main issue of obtaining the treasure is not finding it, however, but rather of being able to reach it and retrieve the sunken treasures. In 1943 to 1944, the shores of Lake Tirpitz was utilised by the Nazi regime as a temporary naval testing station. Throughout the station's lifetime, Nazi research scientists experimented with many different types of devices and chemicals and the effects of ocean depth relative to pressurised force. Given its secluded nature and difficult to reach location, after the failure of the Nazi project Operation Bernhard, which worked to attempt to overinflate British currency, the Nazis used this temporary naval research station to dump over £100 million notes into the lake. These notes have yet to be recovered, and it is further believed that several priceless artifacts may be located at the bottom of the lake, given witness reports from divers who have spotted sunken aircraft closer to the bottom of the lake. Given the dangers of sunken logs halfway to the bottom of the lake that creates a natural barricade, diving in the lake to retrieve these treasures and artifacts have proven to be beyond hazardous and regarded by even the most experienced divers as impossible. The hunt for the sunken treasures of Lake Tirpitz has also unfortunately claimed many people's lives who were brave enough to risk it in the first place, and due to this has led to a ban in the region relative to treasure seeking and diving in the dangerous regions of the lake. Let us know and share your ideas on where some hidden treasures might be located. This has been 5 rumoured locations of lost treasure. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.